Guys, what is up? My name is Jeremy Fust with Impact Real Estate, one of the biggest real estate companies in Arizona. And I wanted to dive into a topic that I think could be super beneficial for any agent that is looking to get their license or is in school getting their license or is potentially in their first year of their real estate career. What is up? My name is Jeremy Fust with Impact. And so I wanted to talk about mistakes that I made my first 12 months in real estate, so potentially you don't have to make the same mistakes. You can learn from my mistakes and you can have a much successful beginning to your career. So I just wanted to dive into these and give you a little bit more insight on what I did, how you can prevent doing what I did, and you can start your career the right way. Because as we know, real estate has an 88% turnover rate in the first 2 years, right? That means it's very difficult to stay in real estate, make it a full-time career, and even more difficult to thrive and potentially make a ton of freaking money. And so let's dive into these. I want to go through them to see how much value I can give you guys right now. So let's start with number one. So number one is, there's a saying, and it's you don't know what you don't know. And I really want you to embody this because I don't want your pride to get in the way. And something else I wrote down when I was thinking about doing this video was, okay, so you don't know what you don't know. I've said that about 1,000 times in 4.5 years I've been in real estate, but it goes into reinventing the wheel. So if you get into real estate and you're talking to other people in real estate and they're gonna tell you, all right, you gotta call, you gotta knock, you gotta farm, you gotta open house, you gotta do these things, really take what they say to heart. Because what's going to happen is you probably aren't going to want to call, or you probably aren't going to want to knock, or you might not want to open house. You might not want to do these certain things that people who have done real estate at a high level are advising you to do because you think there's another way to do it where you don't have to step outside of your comfort zone, right? And we're going to try to find these things to make things easier so we don't have to be uncomfortable when we work, right? And we think that we can reinvent the wheel and do things our way. To some extent, I'm 100% believer in that. And then on the other hand, I believe that there are fundamentals to this business that you really have to embody and embrace. And one of those is you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. 100%. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you don't, you're going to continue going around the hard things and you're going to slow your progress of actually becoming a successful agent. You're going to continue trying to find other ways that are going to make you feel a little bit more comfy and a little bit easier and allow you to sleep in a little bit more or allow you to go out and hang out with your friends and family more, whatever it is. You're going to try to find loopholes to things that you don't want to go do. But I can tell you, lean into these things that your mentors or your leaders or your team or whoever in your life that you trust is telling you to do. If they're saying, hey, you gotta hop on the phones, one, you should probably hop on the phones. If they're telling you to open house 3 days a week, then you should probably go open house 3 days a week. And when that moment of uncertainty and uncomfortability comes up, you gotta eat that shit and you gotta keep on going. You gotta bust through that and make sure you do the activity because that is the foundation of your business. That is the foundation of your business. And so you don't know what you don't know, really embody that and listen to the people in your life who have done real estate at a high level or the people that you look up to and what they're advising you to do. Number two is don't avoid your sphere of influence. Okay, these are the people already in your life that love, trust, and respect you that you can go ask for their help. Don't discount what somebody who loves you, what they're willing to do for you. People want to help other people succeed, especially if they care about you, if you're their friend or your family. Like if you were to have a friend who opened up a restaurant, wouldn't you want to go eat at that restaurant? And wouldn't you invite your family to go eat at that restaurant and your friends to go eat at that restaurant? And you would buy the food there so you can support your friend who opened the restaurant. This is the same exact mentality, except sometimes we get scared of asking for help because we're like, our mindset is, well, why would they want to help me? And we're doing a disservice to ourselves and your sphere because you're not giving them the opportunity to help you. And when you help someone, it makes them feel good, right? So it's a disservice to both of you guys. Don't be afraid to dive into your sphere and ask for business and ask for their help and say, hey, if you hear anybody talking about real estate, can you whisper my name? It's okay to have those conversations. And that is by far the easiest way to launch your business into success. By far, the easiest way of doing it is asking your sphere for help and assistance and feedback and all these things, having conversations, booking appointments with them, going on coffee dates, going to have a drink, going and plugging into their life, going to their kids' soccer games, doing these things, being in your sphere, and asking for them for your business, like for their business. Like just don't avoid it. Jump in your sphere. They love you. They want to help you. I promise. Like don't discount what the people who care about you will do for you. Number 3 is choose the brokerage that fits you, that serves you. And what I mean by this is all of us are very different, right? And there's a ton of different brokerage models. And when I got my license, something that I regret and don't regret at the same time, because I met some incredible people at that brokerage, and so they wouldn't be in my life if I didn't start there, but I wish that I talked to more brokerages first. I wish I had an understanding of how other brokerages function, because when I jumped in, it was through a referral saying, hey, you should come here. I said, great, let's do it. And I didn't really go interview other brokerages. And I'm kind of sad I didn't. I love the brokerage that I was at. No bad feelings there, but I wish that I had the opportunity to explore other major brokerages and what they could do for me. You know, now in my career, I've been to 3 different brokerages. Every single one of them are different. Every single one of them have different cultures, environments, tools, resources, technologies, trainings, just different things that they offer. And so I wish that I went and talked to multiple brokerages and chose one that really fit my personality and what I wanted and what I really wanted to achieve, how my goals aligned with their goals. And that's just something I missed out on. And so that's something, if I were you, I would have as many conversations as possible. And that kind of rolls into my next one, which is join a team. If you just got your license, I can't imagine jumping into real estate and not joining a team. Going back to the first one, you don't know what you don't know. And that's including paperwork. That's including how to show a house. That's including prospecting. That's including scripts, buyer appointments, listing consultations, all these things. There's hundreds of these things that I could list. You don't know how to run them. You don't know how to execute them at the highest level. And so you want to join a team that has the environment that fits with you. And the best way that I describe it when I'm interviewing agents for my team is just trust your gut, right? Your gut will not lead you wrong in this area, I promise. If this feels like the right place, then do it. If it doesn't, then go interview more, right? Get a different perspective. Understand how other teams work and how their split structures work and what you get for your split and what their culture is like and what their trainings are like and what do they offer and all these other kinds of things. It's super important, especially so if you pick your brokerage, once it's time to join a team, talk to as many teams as you possibly can. And I actually say that when agents come in, I tell them, hey, I want you to talk to as many teams as you can, because I want to have agents on my team that want to be on my team, right? I don't want to have agents that I sold to be on my team and then 2 weeks later they're freaking pissed off and they don't want to be here. I want agents that want to be on this team. And so I tell them, go interview other teams. And so you have an understanding of how they work and you know you made the right choice and you feel confident in the choice that you made. And so when you jump into real estate and you're really thinking about joining a team, which I highly recommend, just make sure you're talking to as many teams as possible, right? And hit them up and ask them questions and sit down with them, go into their office, show them ask them what CRM you used. I've been in the CRM. How did the database work? Do I get leads? All these, there's a million questions you could ask these team leads or recruiters when you're talking to them. And so just make sure you give yourself the opportunity to talk to as many teams as possible before you make the right choice. And then once you make that right choice, commit with everything you got to that team. Give everything you got to that team, right? As a team lead, as I own my own team, and I got 26 agents on my team, when the agents who are diehard impact real estate, right? And they bleed black and white, they love this team, they're the ones that will get the opportunities because they're the ones that want to help grow the business, become something special. And that will be the same thing for your team lead. If they see you going the extra mile and they see you committed to the culture and the growth of the company, you will have more opportunity and you will be invited to the masterminds and you will be invited to the dinners and you will be invited to try out new systems and processes and things of that nature, right? And so really lean in and commit to the team that you choose and give them all you got. Okay, and the last thing is lead generation. This is something that is an absolute requirement in your business, and it is the one part of your business you're not going to want to do at first. And that is going to be the things that you choose to generate leads. And through these leads, they will become clients, right? And so you need to make sure you're choosing something like calling, knocking, open housing, farming, events, online leads, team leads. There's a ton of different ways of generating business, but after you join a team, you need to have those conversations with your team leader on how are you going to generate business. And when I've gotten into real estate, I wanted to reinvent the wheel, right? And I didn't want to have to do the calling and I didn't want to have to go do the knocking because that made me very uncomfortable. And what that did was drastically slow down what my potential could be. And what my goal was to, okay, I'm going to create a brand around myself and my leads are going to come to me. I don't have to go to them. And that's a very passive approach. And what I always coach to is there's two ways of generating business. There's passive and there's active. And the active way is going to the person. right? And the passive way is they come to you. And so a great example of that is an open house. An open house is a passive way of prospecting because we can put ourselves in a position for someone to come to us, but we're not going to them. We're putting ourselves in a position to potentially have a conversation with somebody. If we call someone that is very active, we are going to them. We're not giving them the option. So for me, I wanted a very passive business because I didn't want to be uncomfortable. And what that did was it created a very rough first year. Like, it was a very difficult first year. Like a lot of agents have, I had that same experience. My first year was not that great. And then my second year is when my career kind of took off, and I was very fortunate and very blessed. And I did 50 units, and my life from that moment changed drastically. And it wasn't until I committed to the schedule and the activities that I told myself I need to go do to make sure I'm having enough conversations, to generate enough leads, to generate enough clients, to make the income that I wanted to make. And so you need to commit to lead genning every single day, at least 3 hours. Lead gen is by far the most important part of your business. Our job as a realtor is to lead generate. Lead generate, lead generate, and that's it. That's how you got to think about it, right? You're going to hire a TC to do all the back end work because our specialty is not going to be shuffling papers and getting signatures. You're going to potentially eventually get a showing agent because our specialty is not opening up a door. That is not our specialty. Our specialty is navigating an escrow process and finding freaking clients, and that's it. And so you need to master finding clients, and you need to put in the work and the training and everything you've got to mastering the art of lead generation. It is by far the foundation of your business. And so if you're thinking about kicking lead gen, I highly suggest you not. It will crumble your business faster than anything else. So you need to commit. You need to find the people and the culture that you feel comfortable lead generating with so you can go out and do it at the highest level possible. And so those are the things that I would do. Those are the mistakes that I made that maybe you won't make. And hopefully your career can start off freaking blossoming and hit the ground running and just have a much better success than I did my first year. So those are the mistakes I made, and that's all I got to really say about that. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Right down below here somewhere. I don't know where it's at because we're new to YouTube, but it's one of these down here. Like, subscribe, give me a shout if you want to talk. Number will be somewhere on the interwebs. Just Google Jeremy Fuse. And I don't know what the fuck I'm saying anymore, so I'm going to end this video, okay? See you guys.